Hey family, if you are looking for new and fresh ideas on how to not only build your online community, but to keep it, you have come to the right episode. Welcome to the Fitness Business Podcast. Episode 389, Outsourcing Your Gym Tasks for More Profit and Time by Scott Ramage, was a really cool show. Scott came on the Fitness Business Podcast to open our eyes to the world of virtual assistants. As a gym owner or a manager, spending time on duties that keep you away from day-to-day tasks can cost your club in the long run. According to Scott, a virtual assistant will save you time and money. I promise you it's a great episode. Make sure you check it out. That is episode number 389 with Scott Ramage. Hi everyone, my name is Dory Nugent and thank you for joining me today. I hope your day is starting off with a clear mind and a great attitude. Hey, today's episode featuring Kelly Coulter from Fit Pros Connects shares how she was able to build her online community to over 8,500 members. Wow, right? This is why we knew we had to bring Kelly onto the show and bribe her to give away all of her secrets. Now listen carefully to her fabulous ideas because Kelly believes that growing your community is superior to growing your business page. We will hear from Kelly Coulter in less than 2 minutes. First, a virtual hug and a few words to our sponsor, MyZone. MyZone has pioneered unique wearables with talking point technology that makes the difference. Reach more members of your community and keep them engaged for longer through motivation and gamification wherever they choose to work out. In the gym, at home, or outdoors, we're stronger together. Get in the zone at myzone.org. Trust me when I say the entire staff and team at MyZone are fabulous. It is such a customer-friendly company. Check out MyZone at www.myzone.org.
Get your pen ready now for Keep Me's Fit Bizpiration.
What are your top 3 tips to priming an online community to buy from you?
So my 3 are going to be to use the gears that move your strategy forward. And those 3 gears are grow, nurture, and offer. So you always want to be looking at the size of your community and making sure that you're bringing new people in when appropriate, when they're the right people, because your newest members are always going to be your most excited members and they'll keep the community engaged. Nurture, you always want to be showing up. I say once a week, same day, same time, do something that gets your audience a quick win. And then the rest of your engagement throughout the week can be around that one thing. And then offer. A lot of times people forget that you do have to be letting them know you have a program to sell. You're here giving them these free quick wins within that community. But at the end of the day, the business makes money through the program, and there is way more to do and learn within that program. And you always want to have an undercurrent of that so that they don't think you're just the free organization out there giving away all the free stuff.
Next week, Naomi G joins me on the podcast. Naomi is all about sharpening your brand so customers trust you. After this week's full interview, Naomi and I run through the rapid fire, quick fire 5 questions. So stay tuned.
At Discover Strength Franchising, we know you want to own a thriving fitness business. We believe you should be able to do work that you are passionate about while also making a great living. Imagine owning a distinguished fitness business backed by a market-tested business model where efficient 30-minute strength workouts are provided to your clients by expert, educated personal trainers. Here's how to get started. Head to discoverstrengthfranchise.com and fill out the contact form. Set up a pre-qualification call with our franchise team. Join us for a mutual discovery day. So head to discoverstrengthfranchise.com so you can start falling in love with your work again.
Let's transition into this week's interview with Kelly Coulter.
Kelly Coulter, thank you for joining us on the Fitness Business Podcast.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me. I have been looking forward to this for so long.
We've been looking forward with you coming on. You submitted to be a guest on the show. We reviewed your submission. We were really excited to bring you on. We just thought you would be an awesome expert for all of our FBP family out there. So today you're on and you're going to talk about building a ready-to-buy community around your in-club programming. So I'm excited to hear all of your expert advice. But again, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Well, this is something I've been thinking about for a long time because I teach individual fit pros and personal trainers how to build community, but the concepts go far beyond individuals. And I think all of us in the fitness industry need to do a better job of leveraging all of the individuals that are within our organizations and allowing them to put out their expertise and build community around our products.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even that we need to do better. It's just sometimes it's nice to have a reminder. You're on here to guide our listeners to, not only maybe try to do better, but also maybe some good reminding like, hey, wake up and repay attention to this, this, and this. So my first question that I'd like to get started, I'd like to ask you, and that is, what do you feel is the difference between marketing and building a community?
Great question. Thank you. So marketing is the idea that you are broadcasting a specific message. So it is effective when an organization is bigger, more mature, already has a message that is effective, already has a product that sells. But so many clubs, and especially individuals that are going into business, they are still in the process of developing their message and finding what works. And so community can be really effective because it provides two-way communication. So I like to think of marketing in terms of things like creating a visual brand, creating advertisements that get attention and build brand awareness and do other things besides making sales. In community, we want to do two things. We want to build relationships and nurture those relationships, and then we want to make offers.
So marketing, building a community in the fitness industry has been around forever. Why do you feel that now is most important?
So if you look at your social media stats and you look at the way that most companies are using social media, what you see is that you've got business presences and then you have got kind of individual profiles and that sort of thing. In terms of social media, building community would mean using groups. And so I'm going to talk specifically about Facebook. And I know Facebook can be kind of a bad word for some people, but it is still really valid in this regard. Facebook's major play over the last few years has been around building their community building functionality, and their groups still serve to be the best place to build a closed community where you can have two-way communication with your buyers and your perfect future buyers. And this is proven in two ways. If you look at Facebook, they recently changed their mission statement to include the word community. And then also when you see them doing advertising on TV, they're doing ads now, and it's not for Facebook, it's for Facebook groups. So now is the right time to jump in and build a community around your product. The other thing I want to say is that the social media platforms in general, not just Facebook, they're all businesses. They are there to make money. They're going to get more sophisticated as time goes on how they glean if you're talking about a business or a product when you are posting socially. So the sooner you can get in and build a community around the result that you offer or the product that you sell, then the better off you're going to be as social media advertising for businesses gets more expensive.
Now, this is one of the reasons why we look at you as an industry expert. Your Facebook group has over 8,500 members in it. So there's no doubt you know what you're talking about when it comes
to building a group. I mean, that is impressive. I know all of our listeners out there are like, holy smokes, 8,500 people in your group. Could you, like, in one word, one sentence, maybe just explain how you get to 8,500 people?
Absolutely. So I've got a few things, but I will keep it really short. Know who your audience is so that your community is full of the right people talking about the right things, and then show up consistently and then follow up. Make sure you are having the conversations with your people, both within the comments, within the posts, and also off to the side within the DMs. So I have a vibrant email strategy, I have a vibrant DM strategy, and I have a vibrant posting and nurturing strategy.
All right. So with those 8,500 people, how do you feel as an industry expert that a business owner or manager can build community with limited time to spend on it? Because we all know time is of the essence.
And when we talked about my Kickstart page, in my Kickstart, I actually do an entire lesson on marketing and social media, because so many of us in the fitness industry are actually over-serving in social media. So you'll see small studios and individuals going in and they're posting a recipe on Monday. And then on Tuesday, they're doing a whole workout, and then on Wednesday, they're doing something else. And they're doing all of this long form social. And we end up over serving on social. And I like to talk to people about the fact that your group members and your people who are following you in your free following on social media, they're not the people that are committed to the transformation or the result that you offer. They haven't committed with their dollars. And so the last thing they need is all of your best stuff. And so we need to do actually less. We need to come in and nurture. I say this once a week. You show up, you do a live video, you talk about something that's going to get your audience a quick win related to the result that you offer or the product that you sell. And then you spend the rest of the week engaging around that one piece of content. And you can even build like your email strategy and your secondary platform strategies around that one piece of content, bringing it all back to that one place, but keeping it as simple as possible and spending no more than 2 or 3 hours a week doing your social media. If you are spending more than that, you are risking over-serving the people who are never going to commit.
Great answer. I love that, because we all know time is of the essence. Now, I just want to rewind really quickly. You talked in the very beginning of your answer about the client creation Kickstart page. Can you just explain what you meant? Because I know you mentioned that, and hopefully our FBP family listened last week to your Quick Fire 5 episode. Just explain again one more time what you were referring to.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple times a year, I do a live weekend where I come on for 2 days and I teach about 6 lessons. I also bring in guest speakers, and it's all around 2 days to get your business started or kick-started. And the goal is that you would end up with 5 or more new clients from the lessons that I teach. So I teach you how to put your program together, how to make sure your pricing is right. We talk about marketing and social media, about sales. And we do that all within that 2 days of the client creation Kickstart. So the website is fitprosconnect.com/kickstart.
All right, there we go. Good. Thank you for clearing that up. Now, let's talk. You talked about time. Let's talk about budget. What's the budget that you think is needed?
So ideally, when we are talking about building a vibrant Facebook community or even a vibrant Instagram community around your product, what you're really looking for is engaged internal members of your team. And we're looking for sweat equity more than budget. Now, in order to grow a little quicker, there are ways to use Facebook ads and other paid forms of social media advertising in order to bring more targeted new members in. But the engagement should really be more around sweat equity and trial and error, figuring out what works. So it's brain gears shifting and grinding, and sweat equity.
Perfect. We've heard that term used many, many times. Sweat equity. I like that one very much. Now, once you get this started and you get it going, and like I said, your group is up to 8,500. What kind of return can a business expect from the online community?
So once you have a vibrant community going and you've got the right people in it, what you're really looking for is ways to monetize. So you're looking for ways to identify those perfect future buyers and then turn them into clients. I do that in my own community, and I teach my accelerators to do that 2 ways. So the first way would be strategic use of content that allows people to raise their hands and say, I'm ready to make that transformation or get that result. The second way would be marketing events. And so that's similar to my client creation kickstart. That's where you get everybody enrolled, you give them a quick win. They are excited because they love what you've done. And then at the end, you pitch that program that actually makes money in your business, whatever that is for you.
With all of the advice that you have just given over the last 15 minutes, I would love for you to share any pitfalls, mistakes that you could I don't want you to tell them the mistakes that you made, but how can they avoid making pitfalls and mistakes? Maybe you have some advice for them.
Oh, that great one. Thank you. The first is over-serving on social media. It really is. I see it over and over again with my paid clients. I see it with my group members. They think that the social posting is going to be the thing. And I guess this would be the mistake, is thinking that the social posts are going to be the thing that make the sale. When I'm having a conversation and they're saying I'm not making sales, they're saying things like, I just need to nurture longer. I just need to make this kind of post, or I need to do this kind of post. The reality is that we are all coaches and we are service-based businesses. So those purchases are made on trust and relationship. So if you're not having one-on-one conversations with your people, you are most likely not going to be making sales. So yes to creating social posts that nurture your audience and that grow your audience. But at the end of the day, you have to be making offers and you have to be making them one-to-one individually. Now, that doesn't mean you have to become a salesperson. I think there are ways to do sales without being salesy or, that typical kind of, I call it the shirtless personal trainer. Sliding into the DMs and saying, hey, bro, how long you been in the business? There are ways to do it that are service-based and relationship-based. I call that servant leader selling. But the biggest mistake is relying completely on the social media posts and thinking that's going to make the sale.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I always like to just try to ask people like, hey, how can we help our FBP family and our listeners not make the mistakes that possibly you made or you saw other people make, So, all right. So we are now we're just going to kind of say 2 years post-pandemic in a way that everybody had to scurry and get online and muddle their way through and figure it out and build these communities. We're 2 years later. How do you keep them, right? Because I was saying to you earlier, people are starting to feel a little bit more comfortable about going back to gyms. Depending on where you live, the weather's changing. People now have the option to do outdoor workouts. How do you keep them interested?
I think it's about making it a yes and not an either or. So an online community can completely augment what you do. And when we're talking about building community, it also doesn't have to be just around online. I've had accelerators in my paid program that built their business around doing park meetups, around doing everything through their email lists. So it's really about augmenting what you do in your program and giving people a quick win and giving people a little peek behind the kimono, getting them interested, getting them excited, and then letting them raise their hand when they're ready to really get that full result.
Now, knowing that you have a huge following, right? A huge group, and not maybe you or even, again, some of our FBP family out there. how do you bust that fatigue that sometimes you get just from being always on and always optimistic and always positive, and your social media posts have to just be like, happy, happy, joy, joy.
Well, so the truth is, there are kind of a couple strategies to that. Number one, yes, I have a theme song that I play to pump me up before I go online, and it is Glorious by Macklemore. And if you go on YouTube and you watch the official video, it will make you cry, smile, everything, all the feels. It's him visiting his 100-year-old grandmother and taking her on. So good. Go watch it. So Glorious by Macklemore. I'll let you borrow my song. Then also, you don't have to be on all the time, right? So it's really important to have boundaries in place to make sure that when people contact you and you're not on, that's it. You're not going to answer, and that you start to build those expectations. Inversely, if you have this really rigid schedule of, I've got to post this on this day and this on this day and this on this day, and you get to Thursday and you're supposed to, do like a long form value post, and you just don't have it in you, just don't friggin' do it. I would rather see my people and my clients posting when the energy is right than just throwing up posts because that was on the schedule. I don't believe in gaming the algorithms just for the algorithm's sake. I just am a really big believer that you do it when the energy is right. And you'll see that with me because on my Instagram, a lot of times I'll do 1-minute reels that are kind of like business tippy type reels or even mindset-y type reels. I don't do them every day. I do them when I feel like it.
Kelly was fantastic, wasn't she? I related completely when she said, know who your audience is so that your community is full of the right people talking about the right things. For more information on Kelly, or if you would like to contact her, head to our show notes located at www.fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. Oh, and did I mention that while you're there, click on the subscribe button so the show notes will be delivered directly to you through your email. Then you'll never have to search for them again. Naomi G is coming up next in our Quick Fire 5 segment, sponsored by Hapana. Looking for a gym wipe that is gentle on fitness equipment but tough on eliminating germs? Look no further. Vapor Fresh gym wipes are specifically designed to be safe on all gym equipment. And the fact that they are the only plant-based disinfectant wipe on the market makes them the top choice. Vapor Fresh wipes come in 2 convenient sizes. The smaller canister is perfect for home gyms and boutique studios, and the jumbo refill roll fits perfectly into the dispensers. Vapor Fresh wipes, 100% happiness guaranteed.
Quick Fire 5, sponsored by Hapana.
I'd like to welcome Naomi G to the Quick Fire 5. Welcome, Naomi G, to the Quick Fire 5. Naomi, thank you for coming on. You're going to be next week's guest. We're excited to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Good. All right, let's get ready for our 4 super fun questions to get to know you. And then our last one is really going to be your elevator pitch on why everybody needs to come back next week to hear your episode. So
sounds good.
Should we begin?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. What is one item on your bucket list?
Running a marathon, which makes me laugh because I have always said I should not have to run unless something is chasing me, but life just changes. And now I love running.
So whose business brain would you like to pick?
I want to pick Dana Malstaff from Boss Mom. Her advice literally helps me in my business every time I hear it. And I'm part of her membership, Nurture to Convert. And I get to actually pick her brain sometimes, and it's so helpful every single time. So she'll always be my answer.
Good answer. All right. And what is the most visited page on your website?
So usually it's my home page. But recently it's been my 15-minute booking page where people can just book a 15-minute call for me. And I'm hoping that actually changes soon because I just launched a new Canva resource that's totally free. And I just released it on social media. So that might take off soon.
All right. Well, we will make sure on our show notes that we do get your booking page, the address on there so people can take a look at that for themselves.
Perfect.
All right. I'd love to hear a book that you would recommend for FBP family.
Absolutely. Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller is the business brain side of me answer because I'm a story brand certified guide. It's a huge part of what I do in my branding projects with my clients is creating clear messaging through the story brand framework.
All right, fantastic. And finally, here you go. I'm going to give you the mic and ask you what would be one moment of next week's episode.
I am all about branding, and branding done right is going to enable a business to show up like an expert in their niche. You could be like the most seasoned coach of women over 50, or you could have trained Olympic athletes, or you could see story after story of success for freshmen getting into their college dream team. But if your branding is not clear and your visuals are not cohesive, then you could show up like an amateur on first impressions. So people need to figure out that clear messaging and people need to get on point with their visuals. So I love helping people do that. I want to live in a world where everybody has their branding on point.
Next week's show is set up to be a complete success. You can't go wrong with a brand strategist and designer Naomi G. Subscribe to the show today on your favorite podcast player or subscribe through our website at www.fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. Thank you to our founding partner, Active Management, our partners, Keep Me, My Zone, Discover Strength, ISSA, and Hapana, as well as our advertisers, Rex Roundtables, MX Metrics, Vaporfresh. We believe what you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but woven into the lives of others.